No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone and someone cares for you. As an individualization of divine point of view, this door is open to you. This door is open. This door right here is open for you. This door is open to you. This door is open. I'm talking about this door. This door is open. I said this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Melbourne, a positive path for spiritual living. We want to affirm that something good, something wonderful is going to happen to you today because you made the decision to be here and celebrate the God of your understanding together in community. Please stand and join us in singing our opening song for the month of November. It's I'm So Grateful I'm Alive by Floyd Lula. Sunshine, your eyes, dewdrops, fireflies. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. bring up our why statement to say together? So we have a why statement here at Unity of Melbourne, and let's affirm it together. We love and accept ourselves and others and heal our world. And now we'll take a moment to greet your neighbor. Hugs, handshakes. Please make a point. If there's someone you don't know, introduce yourself. Find out their name. Get to know each other a little bit. All right, please find your seats. And we're going to invite our guest minister today, Reverend Ron Fox, to open us in prayer.
You know, when you started singing and I turned around, I was looking this way, there were about 12 people in here. And I turned around the next time and look, you all snuck in while I was singing. So how about if we take a moment? Just go within. And I am so grateful to be alive and grateful to be here today. Grateful to be here in this community where there's so much love, so much kindness, so much compassion. And I know as we're here this morning, each and every one of us hears something that we need to hear to move along our divine spiritual path. And so I bless everybody that was here. I give thanks that you show up. And I know today is already a blessing in the mind of God. And so I just let it be like that. And so it is.
And now we'll bless our children, both the children of this ministry who are across the hall in Sunday school and the children all around the world. So just rub your hands together if you like. Just get some energy going, and then we'll direct it across the hall and all around the world, and we'll say together, children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. And I will invite Sophia to come and read the daily word for us this morning.
Good morning, Unity of Melbourne, all of you in the sanctuary here and everybody online. My name is Sophia Huxtable. I will be reading the daily word today, and happy November. Today is November 2nd, 2025, and today's word is remembrance. I cherish the memory of my loved ones. Today I remember life is eternal as I honor my dear ones who have passed. I send love and light to those who have enriched my life. My heart beams with love and gratitude as I cherish the memories I hold so dearly. I honor and reflect on the relationships that have meant so much to me. I open my heart, allowing myself to feel the tenderness of all my emotions. I sense my relatives' love, a reminder their presence is alive in my heart. I visit my memories in the stillness, grateful for the time we spent together. My beloved's love, wisdom, and strength are in me. As I remember these special ones, their memory will be a blessing that transcends time and space. And the scripture reading is today from Luke 22, verse 19. Then he took the loaf of bread, and when he had given thanks, He broke it and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." Amen.
And now we'll prepare for a time of meditation.
So let's take a deep, centering breath together. And as you exhale, gently allow your body to soften into stillness. Feel yourself fully present here, now, where infinite possibilities reside. With each breath, release the idea that life must be confined by circumstances, time, or condition. Release every thought that whispers, I can't, or it's too late, or that's not for me. For in this sacred moment, we remember the deeper truth, that the very essence of who we are is unlimited. You are not bound by your past or defined by your experiences. You are a radiant expression of the infinite, an outpouring of divine creativity and love. There are no walls around your spirit, no ceilings above your dreams. Breathe into the awareness that divine mind, the one presence, the creative energy that formed galaxies and birthed oceans, moves through you now as you. It flows freely, effortlessly, and endlessly. And silently affirm, there are no limits to what I may express. There are no boundaries to the good that can unfold through me. The infinite life lives within me, and I am free. As you rest in this awareness, see your life expanding, possibilities opening like flowers to the morning sun. Old fears dissolve. New paths of joy, purpose, and abundance appear effortlessly before you. Allow yourself to feel the truth of this. You are an instrument of infinite life, and that life knows no restrictions, no limitation, no end. In this moment of quiet, simply rest in gratitude for the boundless potential that is your birthright, for the freedom that comes with remembering who you truly are. Now take a deep breath once more. And as you gently return your presence to this time and space, carry with you this knowing that you are life itself, unlimited, unbounded, and eternally free. And so it is.
Between me and my eyes and started to come back to present time and wiggle your fingers and toes, go ahead and do that. As you feel ready, please stand up and join us in singing If I Were Brave. If you don't know it, you can dance. Just feel the energy moving. What would I do if I knew that I could not fail? If I believed what the wind
to stand up here, I'll tell you. So, I want to do something. Actually, honestly, nobody knows I'm going to do this. Nobody asked me to do it, and I'm not getting paid to do it. But I want to give a shout out to the Unity webpage. When you speak at different churches all the time, like I do, I can never remember what time the service starts or what time people want me there. So I always have to go check. And I did that this week. And I just want to say there's something on the Unity webpage that really touched my wife and I a lot. I saw it first, and when she came in, after it was over, all she could say was, wow. And it's only 3 minutes long. It's a video. What?
Unity of Melbourne.
What did I say?
Just unity.
Oh, Unity of Melbourne. I'm sorry. Thank you. My coach. I meant that in a good way. I have a shirt at home. I have a lot of shirts with stuff on it. And I have a shirt that says, I don't need Google. My wife knows everything. And it's really interesting how men and women see it differently. Men think, I'm being serious, men laugh and think it's funny. Every time I put it on, women come up to me and say, thank you for wearing that. That's so great. You celebrate your wife. But let me go back. I meant Unity of Melbourne, and there's a video. It's only 3 minutes long of Oprah interviewing Maya Angelou, and it's really worth taking the 3 minutes to see it. So, my topic today is living a spiritual life. It's all about a life without limits. That's really what I'm going to speak about. And I'm going to do something that ministers usually don't do to open it. I'm going to brag about myself. Now, you only see me speak, but you guys have never seen what a great counselor I am. And so I want to open it up telling you a story about my great counseling skills. So I have 3 children. I have a daughter and 2 sons. And both of my sons, my daughter couldn't have done better in school, and both of my sons balanced that by having the ability to not do worse than they did. And one of them in particular was, I could say this because my 2 boys are adopted, and one of them, when he was young, was really handsome. And he was also a real troublemaker in school. And he had a really cool hairstyle for the time. His hair when he was younger was blonde, if you could picture this. And it was a flat top on top and then down in the back. And the kids at school gave him the nickname, the dude with the hair. And he decided that he wanted to run to be president of the school, which I'm sure gave all of his teachers heartburn. And I mean, he was a terrible student. And one of the things they had to do was a 3-minute speech in front of the auditorium. And so when Jeremy got up to do it, after a minute and a half or 2, he got really nervous, forgot what he was going to say, and just said, so remember, vote for the dude with the hair. And the teachers then got a great excuse to disqualify him from running, so they did. And Becky and I had a woman who watched our 2 sons when they came home from school. She was a Mormon lady with 5 kids, and she was wonderful. She loved our kids. And I was working at Mattel Toys at the time, and she called me up, and she said, you need to come home because Jeremy is hysterical. I can't stop him from crying. And she said, Ron, I was so upset with what they did, and she told me what they did. I actually went in and spoke to the principal. And so I came home, and it took me like 45 minutes to get home, and Jeremy is still crying, which is really unusual because he was a very tough kid. And almost nothing I said could stop him. And finally, I got this idea, and I said to him, Jeremy, do you remember when you came to my office and there's this big blue poster on the wall. It's all blue, and it's got all kinds of lemons on it. And it says on it, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And he stopped crying. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I got to him. And he wipes himself up, he's a mess. And then he looked at me and he said, Dad. And I said, what, Jeremy, what? And he said, Dad, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Unfortunately, that is a true story. And years later, when I thought about it, I thought, he's right. That was really... Anyway, I told you that for a reason. And the reason is that when tough times come, and we all are old enough to know you're not escaping life without some tough times. When tough times come, when difficult times come, we have the choice of seeing a problem or seeing an opportunity. And the universe doesn't demand that we suffer. And spiritual guidance is always available to us. Spirit, when we go in and talk to Spirit, it always responds. Now, there's kind of a catch because it doesn't always respond in our timeline, and it also doesn't give us all the time the words we want to hear, But it always responds. And no matter what card we have been dealt in life, we can always move beyond it because we are spiritually strong. They have done research on people that have had the most horrific losses. So if you thought in your mind, what is the most horrific loss that you could experience? What they found with people who have suffered those losses, if they have a belief that sometime, might not be in the short run, but at some time, they are going to find meaning or a lesson in what happened, those are the people that survive. I read, along those lines, I read a story about Barbra Streisand. And evidently, this story now happened when she was famous. She was being interviewed, and she was telling the interviewer that when she was a young girl, her father was a very cold and aloof person. And so in order to try to gain his approval, she started singing. And the interviewer said to her, are you saying on some level that if you never were seeking your father's approval, you never would have gone into show business? And she said, that's absolutely right. And one of the lessons that we can take from that, when life seems to be giving us the worst thing, and you could imagine for a young girl wanting her daddy's approval, that might feel like the worst thing. But when life does that to us, it often pushes us onward. I'm going to talk about that more later because you and I are powerful creatures. And when we let go of the idea of limitation, life can take us to places we never dreamed we'd be. Living a life without restriction is without limits, is living a life without restrictions. We can give ourselves permission to think big and to dream big. And when we do that, doors open for us. And some of us don't realize that we might be living a limited life. And part of the reason is, when we were younger, the people in our lives, whether they were parents, relatives, friends, teachers, they did to us what other people did to them because they didn't know any better, and they kind of pushed what they thought we should be doing in life on us. And so we could be living somebody else's life. And what's really interesting about this is children have big dreams. And they've done some interesting experiments. They've gone into schools and said to the young kids, in the lower grades, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they get answers thrown, what kids say, lawyer, doctor, whatever. But they get answers. When they do the same thing in the same school, in the high school, they get next to nothing. And Carl Sagan said, he was the scientist on TV. He said that on PBS, that when he would go into school and talk to kids about science, the young kids would inundate him with questions because they didn't know about stupid questions. When they went into high school, the kids were so tight and wound up and afraid of asking a silly question, they didn't get very much. Somewhere between their young life and when they get into high school, they lose that creativity and they lose that big dreaming. But we can always, we're not bound by what happened in the past. So, we could just look at our life and we say, hey, I want to do something different. We can change it. Beliefs aren't meant to stay forever. Beliefs, we have a belief that serves us, and when it doesn't serve us anymore, we can let it go and do something different. Have another belief that's going to bring something else back into our life. Some of you may know Esther and Jerry Hicks have read some of their material, and they say, what we need in life, we need to expect and believe that good things are going to come into our life because the universe is a good place, and you and I are really powerful people. And when we realize our own worthiness and our own power of who we are, things are possible for us. We can be things, we can do things, or we can have things that we might dream about, but we can bring them into living. And so I want to tell you two stories about that, about myself, actually. When I was a young guy, and they're not big things, but they're times when I really wasn't sure of who I was. And I had two people that stepped forward that really helped me, and I want to share those with you. One of them was my dad. I had a great relationship with my father. And I went in undergraduate school to New York University, and I studied economics. And at the school I went to, it was almost all guys. And when I was, I think, a junior, I took a philosophy class, and it was all guys and one girl. And the girl was a knockout. And she would always come right before the class, so all the guys would be outside, and we'd watch her walk down the hall. And everybody was, she was the kind of girl you knew you were never going to get a date with, And I was active in student government, and I was running for office. So I had a petition I needed filled out, so I do it in my classes. And I gave it to her, and she filled it out. And when I came home that day, my dad was home early from work, and I was telling him about her and about things, and he said, so, you going to call her up and ask her out? And I said, not a chance. And he said, why not? And I said, because we live in a tenement in the Bronx. Let me show you her address. She lived, I forgot if it was Park or Fifth Avenue, in like the most exclusive place you could live in Manhattan. And my father started to laugh, and he said, you need to call her up. Maybe she'd find it quaint to go out with a poor guy. And but then he came in, and he said, I want to talk to you. And I said, what? He said, you need to make that call. He said, you're a big guy. I can't tell you what to do, but you need to make that call. Not for her, not for getting a date, but for showing you who you are. You're not getting it. You're nice looking, you're funny, you're smart. You'd be a good date. And you need to see it. You need to pick up that phone, and you need to prove it to yourself. And when he went out, I really trusted him. So I called her. And I still can remember part of the conversation. She picked up the phone and said, hello. And I said, hello, this is your future all-square student representative. And she broke up laughing, and she said, oh, Ron, I'm so glad you called. When I was writing down my phone number, I was hoping you'd call me. I didn't have that kind of faith, but somebody else had the faith in me. And I just want to tell you one more story about that, and actually it happened in class too. So when we first started school, everybody dressed kind of like I am now. Everybody dressed, nicely. And after about a month, that goes away. And we all wore, right? Oh, I see a lot of people shaking their head. And this was like, I'm older than most of you, so it was even longer ago, And so we would wear jeans and sneakers, and we were slobs. And so I was taking this one statistics class, and the teacher's name was Henry Cho. And Henry spoke with an accent. And a lot of the kids gave him a lot of stuff, made fun and stuff. And I always sat up front because I knew I wasn't good in statistics. And I went to see him in his office a couple of times and to get help. And one day when I was leaving class, he literally grabbed me and he said, come into my office. I want to speak to you. And I went into his office and he said, Mr. Fox, I like you. I see you. I see you around with other people, and I see you're a good person. He said, you're not very good in statistics, but I also think you're a really smart kid. And then he leaned over, if you could picture this, and he put his hand on my arm, and he whispered, but you look like a bum. And I know why. You look like a bum because you're following the crowd. You don't need to follow the crowd. You're better than the crowd. And if you keep doing what you're doing, they will drag you down and you'll be part of them. Don't do it. That's all I have to say. Goodbye. Literally. I was like 18 years old, and I got a guy here that's assistant professor telling that to me, and it really shook me up. And when I went back to school, this was like on the end of the week. When I went back to school, I started dressing up again, and I took a lot of crap for it, but I did. At the end of the year, I had taken 12 classes. I got 10 A's and a full academic scholarship the rest of the way. And I can't say it's only from Henry or it's only from my dad, but it was because people saw something in me that I didn't see. And we all have that something. We all have that divine presence within us. We all have that ability to do what we want with our lives, and we don't have to live a limited life. Let me read something that the Buddha is supposed to have said. There is praise and blame, gain and loss, pleasure and pain, fame and disrepute. Did you think this would not happen to you? The message is stuff happens to all of us, and we're strong enough to get away and do something different. When we aren't alone when life hurts. Jesus had tough times. Buddha had tough times. And when we do, we need to face them, and we'll find the strengths to move beyond them. We can ask ourselves, what matters now? What would a wise person do? To heal, we got to remember who we are. And then when we remember our spiritual power, no matter what happens, we can rely on that strength and that courage. And we can trust our heart because no one can take that from us. So here's some questions that you can ask yourself when you're going through, there's 5 of them, a difficult time. What can I learn from this? You know, it puts a positive spin on the experience. I always kid that my wife is a practitioner, and our best friend is sitting next to her, and it's like they're twins. And so one of the disadvantages of being married to a practitioner and having a best friend as a minister is you never get to wallow. You know, I don't get to wallow. I come home, and now Becky and I have it down a little better, but I could say to her, look, I need to vent, and she'll let me vent for a few minutes. And then when I get done, she'll always say to me, okay, what's the lesson here for you to learn? What's this trying to teach you? About 2 weeks ago, I had something going with another minister, and everybody I spoke to thought I was right. Everybody I spoke to. And it was a pretty obvious situation, including my wife. But after it was all over and some of the emotion was gone, Becky sat me down and she said, okay, you had this experience, you were right, but tell me, how is he your teacher in some way? Puts a whole different slant on it to see that you can learn something no matter what. So here's question 2. How can this strengthen me? Well, we can see sometimes that we've got this strength that's untapped. I think it was Mary Tyler Moore who said, if only good things happen to you, how are you ever going to know how strong you really are? And we can learn that by asking a question. We could say, how could this arise, the third question, to my advantage? Well, it can rise to your advantage because if you take the time and you go within, you might see other ways to handle it, another way to approach it. A fourth question is, how can I use this to help others? And a fifth one is, what would make this a worthwhile experience? And I'm telling a lot of stories about myself today, but I thought the world ended when I got divorced. You know, the pain for me was incredible. And then, you know, the question is, what would make this worthwhile? What made that worthwhile for me was it kicked me in the rear end to go get some counseling, and eventually I found religious science, and right before I found religious science, I found Becky. And one day I sat my daughter down, and my daughter was wondering, was I sorry? And talk about going through the divorce. And I told her, I said, Meredith, I would go through it 100 times again to see what I ended up and who I ended up with. So you never know what the bad times are going to bring to us. It reminds us that every challenge can be a blessing, and how I see these things are up to me and nobody else. Marianne Williamson, most people know who she is. Marianne Williamson said that she knows that when events happen in her life, they're not always going to turn out the way she would like them to turn out. And she said, but that's okay. I'll be fine either way. And she would be fine either way because Marianne Williamson knows how to pray. Marianne Williamson knows how to meditate. Marianne Williamson knows how to write affirmations. In other words, a simpler way to put it, Marianne Williamson has tools. All of us can have those same tools. I mean, Unity teaches how to pray. Unity teaches, I'm sure, about meditation and affirmations. We all have that. And challenges help us if we know that and use it. You know, there's a Bible passage that says if you build your house on sand, when the rain and winds come, it's going to fall down. But if you build it on a rock, it won't. And life is like that too. And the rock for us the rock for us is love. You know, people can disappoint us, people can betray us, we can lose money, we can lose jobs, but if we keep our heart open, we can endure the storm. And Marianne Williamson says she trusts life not because she trusts people, but because she trusts the God within. She said she trusts her intuition. She trusts her common sense. She trusts her wisdom. And I'll just read this quote because I love it. She said, I place my life in the hands of God each day, and I trust that he knows what he's doing even when I don't. So I want to read something from another author named Wayne Muller, and he's writing about your inner guide. He's saying, neither my pain nor my confusion can stop the relentless companionship of this true and faithful voice. Something more vital, strong, and true lies embedded deep within me. Do you know what the most used phrase is in the New Testament? Now, I'm not a Bible expert, and I've never counted them, but I've read this. The most used phrase in the New Testament is, be not afraid. Be not afraid. Now, the people that wrote that, they were being persecuted, they were being arrested, they were being tortured, and they were being murdered. So they obviously didn't write that and say, be not afraid, because nothing bad's going to happen to you, okay? They wrote that knowing that there was something within us that would carry us through the difficult times, something within us that is always there, that divine presence, that we're never alone. You know, there's something in us that has never been broken. It knows what is true, and it's waiting for each one of us to uncover it. And when we do, when we touch that place, then our healing can begin. So I want to close with something from a great author, Anonymous. He or she wrote, as we come to the close of this message, let us remember that the only limits that can truly bind us are the ones we believe in. Spirit knows no boundaries, and as expressions of that infinite life, neither do we. Each time we choose faith over fear, possibility over doubt, and love over limitation, we step more fully into our divine inheritance of freedom. So today, let us walk in that awareness that life is for us, never against us. Let us see beyond appearances and live from the truth within us is the power, the wisdom, and the courage to create without end. We are unlimited human beings living in an unlimited universe, and the best is yet to be. God bless you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Reverend Ron, for that wonderful talk. Always great to have you with us. Now's the time when we celebrate our abundance and our prosperity. For those who are new or who haven't been here in a while, we don't collect the offering now. We ask you as you leave at the end of the service to please drop it in the planters by the doors. That's just planting the seeds of your own prosperity and the prosperity of the ministry. Does everybody have the bulletin? How do you like those beautiful new bulletins? Isn't that nice? Is it Angie or Angela? Angie. Angie did those for us along with Derek. And if you flip it over, And look on the back. There's a QR code that takes you directly to a site where you can donate electronically if that's the easiest way for you. We just want you to be aware of that that's now on the back of your bulletin for your convenience. All right, so let's bring up our prosperity affirmation, and we'll say together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. I am grateful. Let's stand and sing together, I claim a blessing. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred, power of the spoken word. Take my life and redefine. Break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I lift my thoughts to higher ground, knowing there are miracles all around. Each day unfolds just as it should. When I'm focusing on my good, life is filled with opportunity. I wonder what good is coming for me. Oh, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Yeah, I claim a blessing. So we want you to know that we have prayer chaplains here to pray with you. Can our chaplains kind of raise your hands, wave, identify yourself? So if you have a prayer need or prayer request, please find them after the service and ask them to support you in prayer. That is what they're here for, and they're very glad to do that. I also want to mention, because Ron did mention affirmations in his talk today, that we do have baskets of affirmations next to those planters by the doors. Those are for you to take. Just reach in and take one. Trust that whichever one you pick, that's the right and perfect one for you today. All right? Let's say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The mind of God guides me. The life of God flows through me. The laws of God direct me. The power of God abides within me. The joy of God uplifts me. The strength of God renews me. The beauty of God inspires me. Wherever I am, God is. And before we do our peace song, I'm going to say it's the first Sunday of November. So there's cake out there to celebrate all of our November birthdays and anniversaries. So happy birthday and happy anniversary to those of you for whom that applies. I got two of them right here on stage with me. All right, let's take hands across the aisle. and sing our peace song. About things going on here at the church. And Kevin on the bass back here.